Oh, I have a challenge from an 11Q. I'll accept that. Nice to get someone in the same rating category. Oh, it went away. What happened? Oh, there it is. Okay, let's say hello. And zoom in on the board. And I think I'll try and play a central rook opening again. Okay, closes the bishop's diagonal, so don't have to worry about those bishop exchanges. Brings the silver up. I'm going to castle my king here. See how he deploys the rest of his forces. Okay, he's bringing his gold there. See, going to make... he could be heading towards a Yagura castle with the king, I guess. No, he's bringing the gold up. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, let's bring the silver up next to the king, make the Mino castle. I guess it's a half Mino because this gold is not in this position. Okay, and he brought another gold over here. Okay, well, no, this is the Yagura setup, isn't it? Okay, let's see if we can open a file towards his king. The bishop dropped back to this diagonal. Interesting. So anyway, I can bring my silver up without worrying about leaving my bishop. When I move the silver here, it interferes with the defense of the bishop. Also, the silver was defending the bishop, and now it's not there anymore. But let's bring it out. So he maneuvered his bishop around here. So it's very solidly protected this square, which if I had a rook here, I might be challenging, but I'm not going for that square. And now he's starting to push his pawns forward. So I'm going to bring my bishop up, I guess, to defend that. Let's go ahead and do what we can here to break through in the center. Yeah, I will defend this for a moment. Now he can push this pawn forward to open up the bishop's diagonal, but he's not doing that. I wonder. So if I put my silver here, I can threaten to push this pawn forward right away. Yeah, I guess that's the most active way to play. And he can't chase the silver away from that square. Oh, he can bring his rook up to defend. Interesting. Okay, so I could march this pawn forward, sacrifice it here, and then push this pawn forward. Aha, he doesn't like that either. So if I push this forward and he takes with the silver, then I can't push this pawn forward right away because my silver is under attack. What to do about this? Here, let's finish my castle. Wait and see what my opponent's plan is. bishop here is a possibility. Rook here. I defend the bishop with a pawn. But I can't chase the rook away from that square. Well, keep that in mind. Here, let's push this pawn forward. Maybe I need to bring a knight into the game. Or activate this gold somehow. I mean, this gold should normally be used for defense of the king, I guess. But it's actually hard to do with this middle file rook. Maybe it was a mistake to put the rook right there. I mean, I could lift the rook. I would leave this back rank weak, huh? Meaning there could be bishop drops in there in the future. I could switch to the fourth, or whatever file this is, the 456. It's the other fourth file. Get a pawn in hand anyway. Well, my opponent seems to be playing well. I haven't seen any blunders. We'll check it out with Elmo and see what Elmo has to say. Ah, he's going for the Yagura castle now. So I take, is he going to take with the rook or the gold? The silver. Okay. So I can drop a silver. I mean, I can drop a pawn. His silver is attacking here. Can push this pawn forward. Where's my bishop? Yeah, when I push the pawn forward, it is attacking his. It's attacking his silver, which is pinned to the king. Can still move along this diagonal. So I go forward. He takes with the gold, or the rook, or the pawn, and I take here. Yeah, I think this is left under defended, right? Because this kind of interferes with the defense of that piece by, so I can give up the bishop here for a silver and a gold. So it's not really a sacrifice. I think the silver and the gold are worth more than the bishop. And we'll see if he can do something. I should have checked first, of course. I should have checked first to see if he had any really great silver drops. Or bishop drops. Bishop here. So he has this. Yeah, I have the bottom rank covered, actually. And let's just retreat, though. He can drop a silver, or a bishop, I'm sorry. He can drop a bishop here. Yeah. Should I try and prevent that? I can drop a bishop in my camp and make a horse there. And that's with tempo on the rook. If I put my rook here, he can drop the silver here in my camp. And then, well, no, that gets taken. So if I'm here, where can he drop a silver? On this diagonal to attack my rook. Guess we will deal with that when it happens. Maybe put a silver here to attack back. Okay, he's breaking through over here. That's true. So I have to do something pretty quick, I guess. Okay, a gold here to attack the rook. And the rook is trapped, right? Gold or silver? Gold. Gold is better because he can come forward and then I can take it. Rook has no squares. Pawn, my pawn there, my silver here and here. And then I'll focus on breaking through to his king. Yeah, time for that bishop drop to harass my rook. Oh, there. What is that hitting? Okay, that's he's going to promote, take this lance and promote the bishop to a horse. He's attacking over here. He doesn't have a knight, so there's no Mino mate with the knight here. Let's take that rook. Now I have I actually have a silver in hand I could drop to attack his bishop and defend my camp. Where will the bishop go? Back. Can't go forward here. Could go back. Can't go there. Could go back here or here. Yeah, okay. It's not going to be so easy to break through to his camp, it looks like. Could sack the rook for that bishop. But anyway, let's bring the silver closer. Maybe drop a rook here. Hits the silver, which is loose. Hits the bishop, which is defended. I've had other games where I was doing pretty well and then I lose it at the end because of Byo-Yomi. So it's not game over. I will try and keep my concentration. Okay, so he dropped his gold here. Can take this pawn and promote. Well, can't promote because it's already a gold. Can take this pawn, undermining my silver. Now that's defended by the rook. Okay, so taking this pawn, can't come forward. Trading itself. So let's go ahead and drop the rook. Maybe getting a knight here would be good. Oh, I see. He wanted to promote his pawn. Makes sense. Yeah, we'll take his silver in that case, I guess. Because that attacks this, so when it comes forward I can take it. Now let's see, if I had a knight in hand, well, okay, I could drop my silver here to attack his bishop, but the bishop can retreat. If I had a knight here, I would actually cover that. So I think I want to take the knight next. Also, looking at squares around his king. So he took my silver, okay. The bishop is going to take here. Yeah, so now the bishop will be able to take my lance and promote to a horse. Let's go ahead and take that knight. Yeah, he's got a horse and a token inside my camp, but they are far away from my king. I can still bring this gold over to make some. He's going to get a knight next, but I think let's attack. Okay, can pin that knight next, or maybe pin the bishop, or maybe just drop a gold here and a knight here to win. Getting close to just winning. Okay, so he's dropping a piece there. Let's see if I have a forced mate, because this is not check. So gold here, check. King runs here. Or should I take the bishop with check? Let's do some things with check here and see what he plans to do. Okay, so now a silver here check would guard these two squares. So the king would run here. Then right. I always forget about that. I am still forgetting about that. Okay, let's do this check. And gold and gold. I think I've got him. That's funny. I played a pretty good game until the end when I just forgot about that. That it could be taken. It might have still been a good move. Don't get me wrong, but on the other hand, I should notice when my pieces are hanging. So anyway, we will check that out with Elmo. Let's say thanks for the game. Here, let's zoom back out. Wrong button. And say thanks for the game. Have a nice day. So yeah, that was a fun game. We will check that out with Elmo, and I will see you all later. Bye. Okay, I had Elmo run a analysis on the game, and this graph was the result. The bars above the line are good for me, so it seems like it was fairly even through the opening. Got an advantage in the early middle game, which I gave back, and then I took over and won the game. So that's the general contour of the game. Let's see, I had Sente here and started. Let's just step through this. I was playing a central rook setup, which Elmo was okay with, and I get my king into a Mino castle, which is seems to be also okay. I think there's a slight tendency to favor me at this point. Maybe because my opponent is setting up a Yagura castle, which is a bit slow. Anyway, I'm not sure why I have any kind of advantage at this point, but it's only a slight one too. It probably does not matter in games at this level, although it may matter if you're a pro or something, or just a stronger player. Anyway, I start to get an advantage somewhere around here. And this is an interesting point where he brought his rook up here, and I thought this rook was stopping me from advancing my pawn because he's got now the rook covering the square and the gold as well as that pawn. And I thought I just could not break through there. But actually, if you look at the recommended move by Elmo here, Elmo is recommending pushing that pawn forward. Oh, yeah, I need to step forward. Yeah, I moved the pawn on the 7th file, pawn 7f to 7e, and Elmo's recommending pawn 5e to 5d. So the point is, I looked at this earlier, the point is I can push this pawn forward. He's not going to take with the rook right away. He will take with either the pawn or the gold, probably the pawn. And then I have this move with the bishop attacking his rook. And the rook has no good square. The silver is covering all of these squares here. And if the rook drops back, then I'll just be able to take back here and break through. So that's why that's a good move. And if the rook runs to this square, I have this very simple plan of just pushing this pawn forward step by step, and his rook is kind of trapped over there. So anyway, that's all good for me. So I could have gone ahead and pushed that pawn, but I didn't see that. So this pawn left effectively stopped my attack, and I tried playing another pawn up, but I could not quite figure out how to make this work. He brought a silver up to prevent me from pushing this pawn forward. I thought of pushing this pawn forward to just block the rook's view of this square, so that then I could push the other pawn forward. But with the silver up there, he can just take it, and the silver is attacking my silver, which is loose, so I won't have time to push the pawn. So let's clear that. So I just played some waiting moves here. It's kind of it's a thing that I've noticed that stronger players will do. They reach a point in this early middle game phase where the forces are almost in contact, but not quite. They will sometimes just play some waiting moves, and just to see how their opponent sets up and see if they can spot any weaknesses or come up with any ideas. So I just am trying that out here. It seemed to work okay in this game, although I had a stronger move. And in fact, as I play these waiting moves, my opponent is slowly strengthening his king position. And then finally I gave up and shifted my rook to this other file. Instead, well, even here, let's back up a move. Even here, you can see that Elmo is still recommending pushing this pawn forward. So I still had a chance to do that here. But then when I move the rook away, of course, that's not an option anymore. So because I didn't push forward, and because I gave my opponent a couple of moves to secure his king, I've gotten back to a position where I only have a slight edge, similar to what I had out of the opening. But, well, fortunately for me, my opponent made some more mistakes, and I was able to break through here. And in fact, this is a good point here to look at. It's a nice pawn sacrifice to open up this diagonal of the bishop. Let's see, did he have a better response than taking the pawn? Instead of taking the pawn, he should play bishop 4b to 3c. Yeah, he needs to bring the bishop here to defend the silver. The silver is under defended, and so but he didn't. He took the pawn instead. So then I get to trade. I get to trade my bishop for a silver and a gold, which is a good trade to start with. And then I also break in to his camp, or open up a file towards his camp there. Don't actually enter. I have to drop back. But this is already a strong advantage because I have the two metal pieces in hand. And as long as he doesn't have any killer bishop drops, then I should be in good shape here. Let's see, I'm curious about that rook retreat. 4d to 4g. 4d takes 5d. Okay. What Elmo is suggesting is I leave the rook up here and take this pawn, which would allow a rook trade. Anyway, that's not what I played. I just dropped my rook back, but still seems to be good for me, and I'm keeping this pretty big advantage the rest of the way. It was interesting that I spotted that his rook was trapped there, and I dropped my gold to pick up the rook. Elmo is suggesting here that silver drop to 5b is even stronger. Drop on this square would be attacking this pawn, and then I think I do get to break through here. Anyway, that's the Elmo recommendation. But I just, well, if I see a free rook, I'm going to try and win it. Although it's not quite free because he does get the gold. But then I continue to attack and eventually manage to break into his camp. And here there is, coming up shortly, there's actually a mate. Yeah, right here. So there's actually a mate, and a 5-move mate here. So this is your chance if you want to have a little tactics quiz here, see if you can figure out the 5-move mate. Pause the video if you want time to think about it. I'm going to give the answer away now. Okay, the 5-move mate starts with the dragon sacrifice. You take here, and the king has to take back. If the king runs away, the only square he can go to is this square. What is that? 1c. And from there, I can just play dragon takes. I can play dragon takes this pawn. Either dragon would take that pawn, and that's mate. So he has to take. Let's clear that. So king takes dragon. Dragon takes gold. King takes dragon. And then I bring this dragon over here with check. That's the third move in this 3-move mate. It was rook takes dragon, king, dragon takes gold, dragon takes knight, king takes dragon, dragon takes pawn, check. And then whether he runs with the king or whether he drops a piece to block the check, my last move is just dropping a gold here, and that is mate, because there's no squares the king can run to from there. And whatever piece here that he drops will be pinned. Actually, the pieces he can drop are either a silver or a pawn, and neither of them would control that square anyway, even if it weren't for the pin. So that's the 5-move mate. Here, let's clear that. Anyway, I did find the mate myself, just a little slower. Let's go here. So yeah, the check here, and then he dropped a silver, and then from here there's a 7-move mate, which I actually found. So I dropped the silver here. As I said, that was actually a mistake. I didn't see the knight was there, but it was kind of helpful because it cleared away one of the squares. The knight would have been defending this square. There were probably lots of other ways to mate. I think you can look at the Elmo's suggestion. Bishop 3a, followed by, yeah, that's dragon takes 3b. So yeah, coming in with the dragon is also a way to mate. Anyway, that's how the game ended. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye now.